there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today I'll be taking a look at a couple different little things that I picked up from Wren McDonald. I've already done a separate review for the Good for Health, Bad for Education Akira fanzine that Wren put together. And while I was at Wren's site, I was like, oh, I'm going to grab whatever else I can. And got this book that I've been kind of wanting for a while now from No Brow when I went and did my big like No Brow review, got a whole bunch of books from them. This was one of the ones that I didn't grab because there was an overwhelming amount of awesome stuff. But it's been on my list and I've been enjoying Wren's art. I got this little, it's either a print or a hand-done drawing with a pen. I don't know. It looks like a print probably in gold ink, but also looks like it's signed. So that's really cool. And if it's an original sketch, then that's even cooler. It's hard to tell because of the ink. Also got this little like zine comic called Body Work, which is a really cool comic format because it really looks like a bunch of illustrations, mostly like just one-off illustrations. But the way they go together is that there's two stories happening and you can kind of track the two stories, and then at some point in the book those two stories come together and you get, it's almost like a memento type of thing where the two stories sync together at the end of the book. So I really like that. Cool little formal trick. Beautiful little two-color risograph here with the red and the blue. And then Sparks here, or SP4RX, is Wren's first full-length graphic novel, and this is by No Brow. So if you've seen any of my other videos, like No Brow is one of my top publishers. I think they just do stunning work. They always do have amazing reproduction, and all of their artists are great. And they're also all great writers as well. You're never going to get a bad story from No Brow. So really top of the line stuff. And this is no exception to that. The art in it's amazing. It's kind of like a Steven Universe Adventure Time combined with Jeff Darrow in terms of like the crazy detailed cyberpunk sci-fi. There's Brandon Graham and Moebius and all of those guys in there. Jesse Jacobs I see in a lot of these type of sequences. So a lot of really amazing artistic influences coming together. And then the story is really, really great and I think really relevant. This book was released in 2017, I think is what it said. But it feels like a book that's talking about what's going on today, like post-COVID, manipulation of the news and the government and corporations and all of this type of stuff. And then that combined with AI, what Elon Musk is doing with a lot of his companies, this book seems to be touching on it all. So the main premise of the book is that you have this company, Structus Industries, and they're launching a new cybernetic efficiency public aid program called ELPIS. And what ELPIS is you have this tiered society here, the upper levels, the mid levels, and the lower levels. And the ELPIS program is a cybernetic implant that's going to go into the brains of the citizens and a lot of citizens in this society already have cybernetic enhancements, but this is a cybernetic enhancement in the brain that is supposed to help someone be more productive. So it's a chance for people in the lower levels to be more productive and earn a lot more money because they're working up to 36 hours a day, which is a crazy idea. But with like Elon Musk's Neuralink coming forward, it doesn't seem that far off actually. Then you get these really awesome scenes that are meant to be like the inside of the computer, like someone loading their consciousness into the internet. And it's obviously drawn with a thin black line on white paper and then just reversed in the computer. But the look of it is so cool and so effective. But here you get it where it's just a dream that the main character Sparks is having. So Sparks is someone in the lower levels who has all these cybernetic enhancements, but is also a hacker and kind of anti-corporate, anti-government, and throughout the course of the book gets enlisted. And that's pretty much the story here. He's on a smaller job and he's trying to steal some thing that allows the corporation to control people who have had these brain implants. I don't know if we have a picture. Here we have a picture of like the brain implant. So here it is, changing the course of history one step at a time with innovative design and inspirational vision, making the world a better place through efficiency and progress. Together we stand as one, the ELPIS program. And so you can see this technological utopia that they're trying to build here, this socialist techno-utopia that comes with Neuralink. So if you're thinking about getting an Elon Musk Neuralink chip, read Sparks first. here's another good look at that kind of Adventure Time meets Where's Waldo meets Jeff Darrow type of intense art with all little needles all over the ground and stuff. Really love the look of the book. I think it's two color with black and this like blue or purplish color, but I'm not sure if I'm just seeing this gray as a warmer color just because it's compared to the cooler colors. It feels warm though, but I think it's just gray tones, and the way the gray tones mix over top of the cool tone is interesting as well. But the black on its own compared to the cool looks warm, so it almost looks like a three color job with like black, blue, and a warm. But I think it's just the black and the maybe it's a purple. I don't know. This is right where my color vision can't see. So, anyways, Sparks gets taken to meet this guy Enoch Hertz, who's also part of this rebellion that's going on. And Mega here, who had previously stolen the control device, now is trying to wrap Sparks into this thing. So there's a bit of like a Mr. Robot kind of vibe to all of this too. This like group of hackers that are trying to take down the system. So that's definitely an ingredient in the story. I really enjoy this page here as well. I think it exposes the trick that both capitalist and socialist societies or democratic and collectivist societies are playing on people, that they're always kind of trying to sell us more democracy or more freedom. This puts more power into more people's hands, but that always seems to lead to a shift of power. Like the internet was supposed to be democratizing, and that led to a huge shift of power towards Google and Amazon and Facebook and all of that kind of stuff. And now with the AI stuff that's coming out, they're selling it as the democratization of the socialization of art. It's like, I see it as a socialist move to redistribute talent. You know, people have worked hard and they've worked really hard to get as good as they are. And now the AI comes along and like anyone can have that, supposedly. Those are the dreams that are being sold to us. But it's always leads to a shift of the power to the upper levels. And so right here, you see this in the advertising. I think this is really well written by Wren. That there's like this little stupid little song that they learned. There once was a man born low level who felt he was weak and disheveled. Elpis reached out its hand, then transfigured the man who found out that the hand was the devil. And so these rebels are saying like, look, this company's like reaching out and trying to make things better for you, and they're selling you that we're making things better, but really it's the devil. Hold on to your free will, people, and if you're going to upgrade, do it yourself. DIY Borgs. Don't trust the experts. So it's got that rebellious instinct. But I like that it's just kind of showing power structures in general. It's not really pumping for, like, it's definitely being critical of a logic, AI-driven, efficiency-based society, but you can see that applying to both a capitalist and a socialist. So the critique extends past a political view, just to power structures in general, and applies that to how technology is being used to build power structures in contemporary times. It also goes, I think, after politics a little bit, in that it shows the circular firing squad nature of political rebellious movements, I think, on both sides of the aisle, where these people who have this Elpis implant in their head, they're all about getting rid of redundancy and going through efficiency. But there's arguments about what counts as more efficient. So here you have people saying these interrogations are redundant. All humans are without upgrades are useless. And then they get in their own argument. I can eliminate this encumbrance on my own. Make yourself efficient and find some other shit to flush. What would you know about efficiency? And then they get in this argument and beat each other up. And then here another character gets involved and says, don't you think this internal bickering is counterproductive to the cleansing? And so they just have this big battle about over efficiency. And that's kind of a pretty standard strategy of undermining. I tie it to Derrida that he's always trying to use the tools of a system against itself. So here, if the system is efficiency, then you just lean into efficiency, and people are going to have differences of opinion about what that means, and you'll turn the system against itself and collapse itself. And I think Derrida aimed that particularly at the Western society. That was his goal. But it's interesting to see that that strategy could be used against any system, basically. Exaggerate the tools of a system, and it will lead to a system undermining itself. So I think there's just a lot of really, really smart writing really, really smart ideas in this book about technology, about politics, about interpersonal relationships in a political system run by technology. So really well written. Obviously, the art is stellar. It's a no-brow production, so the paper and the production and all of that is stellar. It's not quite their hardcover books. You know, they had a really special thing going on with their hardcovers for a while, but I think with paper, just paper costs and stuff, it's inefficient for them. It's just not worth it for them to continue producing those like couture hardcover books. So I like that they're doing these softcover books. They're keeping their production values, but they're making things a little bit more affordable for the general public, so they aren't just a couture book publisher. Because I think a lot of the artists and the stories that their artists are telling deserve that wider spectrum. If it's like a bunch of poetry comics or something like that you know is going to have with a limited audience, then fine. But I think they're doing the right thing for their artists, even though me as a lover of the couture book experience kind of misses that. That's probably why this is one of the ones that I didn't grab in that first batch. But really, really glad I grabbed this stuff. Really glad I got body work. You see that this is an ongoing concern of Wren McDonald and probably going to show up in all of the work. I mean, even just being influenced by Akira, you're automatically talking about kind of cyberpunk and technology and that stuff. And then this beautiful little print or handmade drawing, I don't know, but everything's coming signed, and I'm really, really happy with this order that I made. So thank you, Wren. This is an older book, and I haven't seen anything else new since then, so I'm really excited and looking forward and hoping Wren McDonald has something new and large coming out soon, because this is a stellar work. So please go out, check out Wren McDonald stuff. It's awesome work. If you enjoy what we're doing here on the channel and want to support us, the best ways to do that are through our Patreon. We have a couple different tiers there that come with a couple different levels of like voting in polls and exclusive content that we'll be putting up. And then the most important thing is to support what Sean's doing with Living the Line Publishing. So we'll go ahead and take a look at a couple books that Sean's put out now. Centralia is an awesome, gorgeous comic by rising Dutch star Miel van de Peet. This is his first work. It's a really great sci-fi story. There's a world in the future where the sun has gotten so hot that people can't be on the ground, so they have to run around. There's a lot of conceits that go with that. You know, what is the world that looks like? And I think you can see by the art that Sean's description of this book as like a Moebius for young adults, a YA Moebius, is a really great description of this really gorgeous and like wild, wacky, fun book. Thanks for following along. Take it away, Jack.
You want to see all these books? Smash that subscribe button and the like button and the bell, and then you get them.